Welcome to beautiful Goodwood, historic Goodwood karting for the final of the Briggs Stratton Senior Round 2, Race 2 of the E.C.K.C. Karting Championship. Stephen Zaghetti, veteran of so many years and races of karting, Canadian champion in Rotax Senior, Rotax Junior, making his foray into Briggs Stratton. Simon Belanger finished on the podium in yesterday, which would have been race 1 of round 2. Second place starter in this afternoon's final, Jordan Latimer. Coming up, our interview with Michael Glaze explaining why he's chosen Briggs Stratton.
You know, I've raced almost every single type of go-kart motor-wise, and the Briggs is just, there's a pack of like 10 guys and everyone's roughly the same speed, so it just makes it fun. It makes it, you have to think a lot. Like when you're in a pack, you have to make the right moves, and if you make a wrong move, you can go back. So it all adds up to be fun, and you know what, it's pretty laid back. You don't have a lot of things to change. It's just basically, once you get your chassis set up and your motors, they're all the same. So you just go and have fun and do your best, really. You get a couple teammates helping you, and you can end up in the top spot.
Thank you, Michael. Back to the grid here. On grid, your pole sitter, Jean-François Lafontaine's on a roll after winning last week's Coupe de Quebec race. Seen here on our webcast. Jordan Latimer also on the front row. Position 2 will be starting on the outside of Jean-François Lafontaine. Looking for a good, strong race by Jordan Latimer. Followed by Kyle Edgar in a Burrell chassis, starting third. Fourth, former Canadian champion in four-cycle junior, Tommy Lemaire-Wallet, has been to Canada to represent Canada at the World Final. Jonathan Treadwell, who is your current leader in the championship, will be starting on the inside of row 3, that is. Position 6, Chad Campbell in a GP kart will be on the outside of row 3. Marco DeLeo, veteran Marco DeLeo, never thought I'd say it, seen him since he was a young man, is now starting inside of row 4. Simon Belanger, his first ever season in E.C.K.C. on the Fernando Alonso kart. Position 9, Stephen Zaghetti, Quebec Cup winner, Canadian champion in a variety of categories. Oh, we get a signal from our marshal to let the carts onto the track as everyone starts up there. Briggs Stratton Senior package as everyone gets ready to head out onto the track. Here we are at historic Goodwood KARTWAYS, probably the oldest karting facility. It's been very well maintained. The DeLeo brothers have spent enough money to bring this place back to what it used to be, and that is a great karting facility. Here we are on our pace lap. We're going to go through the starting grid here as the drivers complete the formation lap. On pole position, Jean-François Lafontaine, Latimer, Edgar, Wallet, Treadwell, Campbell, Marco DeLeo. In 10th place, the very beautiful Charlotte Lalonde, our first lady this afternoon. Pierce Herter, former Canadian champion, starting 12th. Zach Bohm in 16th place. David Miller, 21st. Frank Lowney, Canadian champion in DD2. And Abigail Bolton will be starting from the back for a minor technical issue. Coming up in a few minutes, coming up instantly, I should say, our interview with Derek Michaud, veteran of four-cycle racing.
You've raced Rotax to two-stroke engine, and now you move to the Briggs Stratton full-time. You're racing in Briggs Stratton. Why is that?
I just find it's way more competitive. There's a lot of good drivers like Treadwell and everyone, and it's so close, and it makes a better show for everyone that comes out and watch. So I think it's a lot better for everyone to see racing like that, and it's close racing. We're bump drafting and everything like that. So I think it's a lot better for everyone to watch, and the competition's just so much more there. So
wise words from Derek Michaud. Get your helmet on. Get on the grid, Derek. We're waiting for you. Here we are on the formation lap. Here, race 2, round 2. Front row drivers giving each other a thumbs up. That would be Jean-François Lafontaine, Jordan Latimer. Coming into the final hairpin here at Goodwood. They're going to go into, which is, I call it an open 90-degree corner down the start-finish straightaway. A lot of action should be as they go into corner 1. This is the last corner here at historic Goodwood KARTWAYS. Get ready Ladies and gentlemen, for the Briggs & Stratton Senior Final, yes, we have a green flag. Briggs & Stratton Senior is now underway. LaFontaine makes it in first, followed very closely by Kyle Edgar. We got Burrell 1 and 2 as Kyle Edgar took advantage of being on the inside. Oh, that's Simon Belanger who went off the track. So much promise. I don't think Simon will be joining us for the rest of the race. So many karts on the track, so much action. Jonathan Treadwell is now up into 5th place, or has dropped back to 5th place. Sorry about that. Kyle Edgar in 2nd, followed by Jordan Latimer. That's Tommy Lemaire Wallet, and Jonathan Treadwell is now into 5th place. Marco DeLeo, the owner at Goodwood, is in 6th place. A lot of experience. He knows everywhere to pass. Nose to tail. Here are our top 5 one more time. Jean-Francois Lafontaine, Kyle Edgar, also in a Burrell kart, followed very closely by, that would be Jordan Latimer and Tommy Lemaire Wallet in the CRG. Derek Michaud now up into 10th, past Pierce Herter, former DD2 champion. A lot of nose to tail driving. This is a lot like stock car, a lot of strategy. Some people call it high speed chess. You don't want to be doing too crazy passes right now, or you can drop by quite a bit. Well, thanks for proving me wrong, Kyle Edgar, as he jumps by into 1st place ahead of Jean-Francois Lafontaine, and right behind him, Jordan Latimer, Luke Chudley, now up into P7, a veteran of karting who's done some car racing and says, hey, I want to give this Briggs & Stratton a chance. Everyone's talking about it. Your top 5, Kyle Edward, Jordan Latimer, Jean-Francois Lafontaine. Oh, side by side, coming out of the final hairpin as they go into the start-finish straightaway. Marco DeLeo still in P6 on the Intrepid kart. Your leader, Kyle Edward in a Burrell, followed very closely by Jordan Latimer, Jean-Francois Lafontaine, Tommy Lemaire Wallet, and in 5th place, Jonathan Treadwell. Oh, Kyle Rennie pushed off the track. Kyle Rennie came back on, does not look very happy. Very close racing in Briggs. Lafontaine on the inside. This is the final hairpin. That was a bit of a risky maneuver by Jean-Francois Lafontaine, as you can see. Because of his attempt, he dropped a little bit back and allowed Tommy Lemaire Wallet right on his bumper. Will Lemaire Wallet attempt to pass going into corner 2 here? Your leader, Kyle Edgar, sorry about that, Jordan Latimer, Jean-Francois Lafontaine. We had a near pass. Oh, Lafontaine is determined. He wants that 2nd place pass. Yes, he gets by Jordan Latimer. Very aggressive driver, Jean-Francois Lafontaine, but keeps it within the rules. Your current leader, Kyle Edgar, on a Burrell. Tommy Lemaire Wallet in the CRG kart has now made his way up into 3rd. Look at the racing, ladies and gentlemen. Nose to tail, nose to tail. Don't blink or you might miss an exciting pass. We see Marco DeLeo now in 6th place, right on the bumper, Jonathan Treadwell. Lafontaine right behind Kyle Edgar. The 2 Burrell karts, 1 and 2. Lafontaine put a wheel wide, but he's still there battling. Tommy Lemaire Wallet in 3rd place. 4th place, Jordan Latimer, Jonathan Treadwell. DeLeo has now caught up to this bunch. Oh, is that DeLeo who made his way up into P5? Nice pass by Marco. Lafontaine determined. He wants that 1st place back. There he goes. He brought Tommy Lemaire Wallet with him. We got the 2 Quebecois drivers, 1 and 2. In 3rd place, that's Jordan Latimer. Right behind Tommy Lemaire Wallet. You can see Latimer using every inch of the track as he's on Tommy Lemaire's Wallet's bumper. Driving a little bit defensive Wallet. This is early in the race to do that. Jonathan Treadwell is now in P4. Right in front of Kyle Edgar. Kyle Edgar, who was leading earlier, is now dropped by to 5th place on the Burrell kart, followed very closely by Marco DeLeo in the Intrepid. The 2 Quebec drivers are now 1st and 2nd. LaFontaine, Ouellet. Oh no, it looks like Kyle Edgar is going a little bit backwards here as DeLeo got by him. I don't know if he's being shuffled to the back of the deck or if he's having a problem. We'll keep an eye on that. Your current leader, Jean-Francois Lafontaine, followed oh so closely by Tommy Lemaire Ouellet. That would be Jordan Latimer in third place, Jonathan Treadwell fourth, Marco DeLeo round up your top 5. Kyle Edgar is still in 6th place, so whatever shoveled him back into 6th place was nothing major or mechanical, maybe just a luck of the draw. Sometimes when you get caught out on the draft, things just don't go your way and you start going backwards very quickly. We see Lafontaine leaning forward on his steering wheel, trying to take a bit of weight off the rear axle, trying to help a little bit to get a little bit more top speed. Tommy Lemaire Ouellet is driving very smartly as he's pushing Lafontaine, trying to pull away from the rest of the field. But don't count on it. Jordan Latimer is now in 3rd place, right on Lemaire Ouellet's tail, followed by Jonathan Treadwell. And we can see DeLeo now has dropped back. DeLeo in 5th, Kyle Edward in 6th. 5th and 6th have now dropped back. This is your lead pack, the top 4. Oh, Jonathan Treadwell said, sorry, Latimer, you're not fast enough, but I'm going into 3rd. Maybe between the two of us, we can catch Lafontaine and Tommy Lemaire Ouellet. Got to give our top 2 runners a bit of credit as they're not really fighting each other right now, giving each other an attempt to pull away from 3rd and 4th. But these gentlemen in 3rd and 4th place seem to have a lot of pace between them. That's Jonathan Treadwell in 3rd, Jordan Latimer in 4th. DeLeo seems to be hung out by himself in 5th place. By himself like that, I don't think he can catch the leaders. And I think it's only a matter of time before the pack catches him. Our 3rd and 4th place competitors definitely seem to have a lot of pace here. Jonathan Treadwell, Jordan Latimer. Will they be able to catch the Quebecois? Pierce Herder up into P6 after starting mid-pack. Is that Pierce Herder following Luke Chudley? Yes, it is. A lot of the veteran drivers. Oh, that was the other way around. A lot of the veteran drivers are moving their way. Experience just so important in this Briggs & Stratton. It really is a chess match, and you can tell the drivers who have so much experience, they don't get excited, they stay in line, they look for the right kind of draft. There it is, Pierce Herder, Chudley in our 2nd group of drivers, trying to hook up into a nice draft so they can catch our leaders. We see Jordan Latimer kind of lying down in his seat, trying to save a little bit on aerodynamics, but it's not working. The top 3 drivers have now pulled away. Full credit to Jonathan Treadwell. Oh, Tommy Lemaire Ouellet made a pass. Yeah, Lafontaine says, I'm passing you back. Meanwhile, 3 and 4 have now caught up. Ouellet, Lafontaine, Treadwell, Latimer. It's anybody's game at this point. Tommy Lemaire Ouellet, very smart drive. He came out ahead of the Lafontaine maneuver. He is now your current leader here at Goodwood KARTWAYS on the webcast. This is the Briggs & Stratton Senior Final. Oh, you see Lafontaine right on Ouellet's tail. Very aggressive driver, this Jean-Francois Lafontaine fellow. I don't know. I'm betting he's going to dive here on the inside. Well, that's why I'm not a gambling man. Very smart move by Lafontaine to stay in 2nd place. Meanwhile, Jonathan Treadwell and Jordan Latimer have caught up to your leader, Tommy Lemaire Ouellet and Jean-Francois Lafontaine. You can see Marco DeLeo stuck there in 5th place by himself, must be saying, hey, I need some help to get to the front. Somebody come and give me a help. Well, guess what? In the Briggs & Stratton Senior Final, nobody helps anyone. It's all about getting to the front as quickly as you can. Here we have Lafontaine. The start-finish. Last lap on the start-finish line. Lafontaine on Lemaire Ouellet's bumper. Oh, Lemaire driving a very defensive line. That allows Treadwell and Latimer to be close behind. Oh, Lafontaine's trying on the outside. That's not going to work, JF. You know that. Very defensive drive by. Oh, Ouellet goes wide. Going into the corkscrew. Lafontaine Ouellet. Oh, collision. Lafontaine Ouellet. That puts Treadwell in front. Jonathan Treadwell followed by Jordan Latimer. Should be in 1st and 2nd. Yes, there they are. 1 and 2. Marco DeLeo. His patience finally paid off. Great patience. Great drive by Jonathan Treadwell, your winner, followed by Jordan Latimer, Marco DeLeo, Luke Chudley, and I could be wrong. I think that might have been Pierce Herter. We're going to see a replay of what happened here. We see our LaFontaine on the inside, coming up into the corkscrew, rides over the curbing. His cart starts bouncing. Lemaire Ouellet, a very smart, aggressive move, tries to get back inside. Collision, as they both try to go side by side. We're going to watch this in slow motion. See what happens here. Oh, was Treadwell ever lucky? He just nicked Ouellet's bumper. He had nothing to do, because when the two drivers hooked up, they slowed down dramatically, and that allowed Treadwell to get into the lead. Charlotte Lalonde, our first place lady in this class, is now in 8th place. Derek Michaud, 11th. LaFontaine drops all the way down to 12th. Tommy Lemaire Ouellet, 17th. They could have played it safe and finished 1st and 2nd, but when you have a chance to take a lead, you go for it. These are the final results here in the Briggs and Stratton Senior. I hope you're enjoying our webcast. There's your winner, Jonathan Treadwell. Very excited. Jordan Latimer. Oh, that's Simon de Belanger, who went out on the first lap. Very disappointing run after finishing on the podium yesterday. Hate to say it, folks, but that is racing. Jean-Francois Lafontaine, a little disappointed, but figures, hey, we're here to race. We're doing our best. I know him and Tommy Lemaire Ouellet respect each other a lot, just from observing that. Sorry. Oh, Frank Laudy, our veteran of karting, Steven Zaghetti. So many great veterans here in this class of racing. Tommy Lemaire Ouellet, yeah, he says, in French, said, I missed a couple of inches. They both went for it. It was a pure racing accident. Coming up next on our next broadcast, round 3 of the E.C.K.C. from the Grand Prix at Trois-Rivières. This is Norm Trottier. Hope you're enjoying our webcast as we switch to the podium. The 3 Ontario boys make it onto the podium. Way to go, Jonathan Treadwell, Jordan Latimer, Marco DeLeo. Marco, you should shave for the podium. There it is, the champagne, sparkling wine, call it what you want. Briggs and Stratton, Norm Trottier. Goodbye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.